Welcome to tonight's tutorial. Thank you for joining me. I am Pam Wrigley and I am a wedding makeup artist and hairstylist. And tonight I'm going to show you how to do some really kind of simple but beautiful hair prep. Now this hair prep, tonight I'm going to show you we're going to create a beautiful half up, half down style, creating some nice kind of soft beachy waves. But you could just as easily use this for a little updo because it's all about getting the hair smooth and sleek, glossy, and with a nice kind of separated curl or wave in the hair. Now, if you have any questions, I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on the chat box. So if you see me looking over to the side, I'm just checking to see if we've got any questions that have come in. So I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on the chat box and answer your questions. But if I miss anything, you can always send me a little comment in our little comments box on YouTube, and I will be able to get back to you either later tonight or in the next kind of day or so. But let's kind of get started with this lovely beachy kind of looking style. So as I say, tonight's tutorial is about hair prep. We are going to create a quick style, but it's really about the hair prep. So you can see I have already made a start. I've left a section of hair out here that I haven't yet prepped. I haven't done anything to, but let me just talk you through what I've done already. So I sectioned the hair and took kind of the sides and the crown, and I started off down here in the nape of the neck. And basically I've just created some very soft, you can see at the bottom here, they're a little bit softer because it's these top ones that I wanted the hair to look really full. So what I've done is I've created a curl using some curl cream as a kind of prep for the actual style. So, and what you get as a result is this lovely, you can see these lovely, glossy, separate looking kind of curls, and you can get it to look separate from right, up at the top here if you want to work with some very piecey little sections. And then, but if you want it to look a bit softer, you can just get a little bit of curl cream here. You can use a little bit of curl cream all the way along the section of hair. Let me just separate these just a little bit more so you can kind of get this piecey look right from the top. So I'm just going to smooth a bit of extra curl cream on here now. Now the curl cream I'm using at the moment, that's better, is a Tiggy Curlesque Catwalk curl cream it's called. But to be honest, I've been actually practicing this technique with different curl creams. So I have used a List Control. I tried a List Control by L'Oreal, and that worked great. I've tried my little structure cream. So you can see how these little sections are really beautiful and piecey. So as I say, I've been trying different creams to see which was best, but actually, so the Curls Rock Amplifier by Tiggy, this is their Catwalk one, that worked, that's beautiful. The structure cream, the Super Ego, this is Creative Texture, it's a Goldwell product, that worked really well. And so did the List Control by L'Oreal. So I've actually tried, I think really any curl cream might just do. So what I like about this, you can see how we've got these lovely, so first of all, I put the cream on the hair and created the curl. And that starts you off with this lovely, smooth, sleek curl. And then you can go back in and separate as I'm doing now. And you get this lovely kind of really piecey, separated full look to the hair. So I'll just do a few more of these, and it's just, you don't need to put a lot of curl cream on the hair. Just a little kind of smear, and you'll find you just get this really lovely, smooth, glossy, sleek finish that looks really kind of piecey and beautiful. But you do need to be kind of be patient, and almost I find in a way is you can kind of start creating your sections. When you initially create the curl, could be, you know, you could use quite a big section of hair, and then when you come back to look at the hair again and to separate it, that's when, so this section was quite big, but then we can come back again, separate the curl, and because it's got the curl cream on, it's a really strong curl. So it doesn't drop, it stays, it holds its position and it holds its shape. And then you can work towards getting these really small, lovely kind of piecey curls. Now the hair prep I did, what you can do if your client has particularly fine hair, you could always put some mousse in first and a little bit of salt spray and blow dry the hair to get some extra kind of volume in there. And if she got really, really fine hair, you could even crimp the hair. I probably wouldn't crimp all down the length of the hair, but you can just crimp at the root, because you're going to be recurling the hair along the length of the hair here. So there's actually, you don't need to crimp it first, because you're just going to be taking that crimp right out again. But as I say, you could certainly get some root lift with the crimpers. Or alternatively, you could maybe use a little bit of, this looks like it needs a little bit more of a curl. You could maybe use a little bit of texturizing powder at the root. Okay, so you see all these lovely piecey sections here. So here we've got these sections that are a little bit bigger, and then we're just going to separate them all. And in a moment, I'll show you. And on my fingers, I'm using a little bit of curl cream, just to separate the curl and hold it separate, and to make sure it looks smooth and glossy. And it holds the kind of curl together. So these curls this hair's already been curled. So I'm kind of using the curl cream, kind of doubly using the curl cream, because I used it for my hair prep. I'm going to show you in a second on these top sections of hair just what to do. And now I'm using it again to separate these lovely beachy waves and make each individual wave glossy and shiny and gorgeous. So let's create some waves here with this hair that hasn't yet been curled. Just give it a little curl through, little brush through, I should say. She's got a little bit, she's been twisted up in that little top knot, so it's gone a little bit kinky, the hair, but that's okay. So make sure my tongs are on. That's it. My wand. So what you're going to do to create these lovely beachy waves is, sections don't need to be too small, but you do need to be quite generous with your curl cream here. As I say, the hair has been texturized first, so if you're working on a client, you want to put some salt spray in there and a little bit of mousse at the root, and be very generous with your product. If you're working on a practice head, the way I am tonight, that's it. Now we've got the product on there. If you're working on a practice head, then you can avoid the mousse and just go straight for the the salt spray. And then you don't need to put mousse on your practice head. Just make sure it's hot, yeah, because the hair's already quite coarse. So I'll put a little smear of cream onto the hair, and then I'm going to curl it with a wand. And as I say, you can try different curl creams to see which one you prefer. And I would suggest if you've got a client with very fine hair, then you probably would use quite a light curl cream. It doesn't need to be anything too heavy because you don't want to weigh the hair down and make it look kind of greasy. So there's our nice glossy, shiny curl. And I'm not going to separate it straight away. I'm going to go on and do my next one. Just let that cool down a little bit first before I separate it. Bit of smoothing. Smooth out the hair first. A little bit of curl cream. So if you have any questions, please just type them into the chat box. And it could be about anything. It could be about hair prep, or it could be about anything to do with bridal hair. I can't say I'm an expert on many other things, but it could be about hair prep, or it could just be about, maybe starting to work as a bridal hairstylist, maybe marketing or advertising. So if you've got a question, please let me know. And as I say, if I miss your question tonight, because quite often I do get kind of engrossed in the styling process, and sometimes I don't check the chat box as often as I should. Let's just make sure the heat comes through. That's it, it's coming through now. And then you can let that go. And then we're just going to leave that to cool down. And another one. So I've already decided where I want the parting to be for this hairstyle. Maybe I'll try a little bit of the Creative Texture Cream for this one. So maybe if you were doing a trial for somebody, you could try different curl creams and see what works best for that person's hair. That's it. So make sure you get a little kind of smear of curl cream all the way along the length of the hair. And you'll probably find the coarser or drier the hair, like this practice head, the hair is quite coarse and it's quite dry. So I can actually be quite generous with the curl cream. Whereas if I was working with somebody who maybe had quite fine, kind of soft, silky hair, then I would need to be a little bit more careful, a little bit more sparing with the curl cream. And you could actually use maybe even a little bit of setting lotion instead of using a curl cream. That would work. But what I find when you use a curl cream is you get this lovely, let me turn her around a little bit so you can see me curl this side. So you can see these lovely, piecey, separated, sectiony waves. But I find when you use a curl cream all the way to the end, is you get this lovely, glossy, smooth curl that's soft at the same time. Whereas I think sometimes if you use a stronghold hairspray, and I'm using a little twist technique here as I'm wrapping the hair around the tongue so that I get that nice kind of beachy wave effect. But I find if you use a curl cream instead of a setting lotion, sometimes with a setting lotion or a stronghold hairspray, you can get quite a crispy curl. Whereas with the curl cream, I've discovered, you get a good kind of strong curl, but it's also soft and flexible at the same time. So it's really good for styling. And it's also great if you are maybe, that might be enough now, I think. Yeah, that's it. And it's also really good. I'm just going to come back, going to let that curl cool down, and let's come back to these ones. So they're also really, go back to the bottom again, separate these curls so we get our lovely piecey effect. That's it, lovely. And it's also really good as well if you're doing, even if you're doing like a little updo and you want some detail on top of the hair, maybe some nice kind of piecey looking curls to sit on top of the bun. This is a great technique to kind of finish your styles. So I just keep separating. And when you're separating, just be careful. It doesn't even matter if it gets a bit flyaway, because you can just put a little bit more cream on and you'll find the smoothness and the glossiness will come straight back. So it's not gone very far. Perfect. A little bit more cream, I think. And then we can create these lovely little piecey sections here. And then you can either create a lovely kind of half up, half down style, or you could leave all the hair down. What I was going to say was when you put the cream on, when you're doing at this stage, is make sure you don't just put it on the ends of the hair, but you also put it up near the root as well, so up here, because then not only do you get it kind of piecey down here, but you also get this lovely kind of piecey separated effect up near the root. So it all looks kind of gorgeous here. That's it. And then if she'd got, I'll just do this one and then we'll create a super quick style. So take these sections, make sure they're the right size at the top. So you get this nice piecey look above here. That's it. Work with your sections one at a time to create these really lovely textured beachy waves. Or you could just do curls. They don't have to be kind of beachy waves like I've done today. And then we could create a quick little style if we wanted to. This might be lovely if we did a little, some kind of braid coming back here. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my videos. Yes, that finger wave tutorial. I love doing finger waves. So thank you. Is that from, have a look. So I'm just going to check the chat box. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the finger wave tutorial. Let me just create this. I just love these waves. I'm almost loath to even pin anything up because I think they just look gorgeous. But I might just lift a little bit up. So remember, when we're securing the hair, we don't want to kind of just plonk our bobby pin across the top. When we're creating these styles, we need to kind of make sure that as we go along, we hide our bobby pins as we create the style. I've got the wrong color bobby pin here, but let me just see if I can do that. Kind of, just, I think. Maybe, you know what, I'm going to check. I can see the tip of it, that very end. So let's just change the bobby pin. So you're going to do that little, it's hard to do in the mirror. I've got to try not to look in the mirror when I'm doing this. You're going to twist the hair a little bit. and then pop the bobby pin in. So we do have videos on our e-learning site that shows you how to secure the hair and make sure all your bobby pins are hidden. And let's just maybe lift that up a little bit. Or maybe pin that curl. Might have that wave coming back here. So if in doubt, or if you'd like to learn more about bridal hairstyles, as I say, we do have an online course that you can join and you get your certificate. And I mark your exams, your exam work. That's it. Lovely. Beautiful, separated, gorgeous, glossy curls. There's one here that I think could do with a little bit more curl cream. So I'm working with a mirror here, just off camera. So whenever I'm doing a trial with my clients, I always use a mirror. I take a mirror with me. That's better because I just find it makes my life so much easier. It gives you the opportunity to kind of step back and look at the style from a different angle. A little bit like taking photographs, but as you go along, if you've got that mirror there, it just helps you to create the styles. You can, of course, get feedback from your clients as well if you've got a mirror, and that's always important. That's it. A little bit more. Pin that bit up to there. So I'm just going to do a really quick kind of almost half up, half down, barely styled kind of look just to finish this style off. But I think she could even get away without just having all these lovely, soft, beachy waves down. That's it. Lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight's tutorial. Let me just check our... Thank you. I'm glad that you like the waves and that the hair looks so thick. And it's so glossy and yet it's so simple. It's just a little bit of curl cream smeared over the hair before you create the curl. And as I say, I've tried a few different curl creams and they all seem to work. So I'd love to hear from you. You could let me know what curl creams you've tried, but what a simple, easy way to create a lovely, glossy curl. Because I've used curl creams a lot before, but usually kind of as a finishing product, or if I'm working with natural curls, I'll use a curl cream. But when you're working with kind of creating these beachy textured styles, I find when you put the mousse on and the salt spray, quite often what can happen to the hair, especially if somebody's hair is in quite bad condition, you need that texture in the hair, but the mousse and the salt spray can make it look, it looks really dry, but it also kind of feels really dry and it can feel quite unhealthy. Look quite unhealthy because it looks so matte, and if they've got any flyaway bits, the flyaway bit pieces just stick out everywhere. So the reason I tried the curl cream first of all was I wanted to smooth out the hair after I'd put a bit of texture in there, and then I discovered not only does the curl cream smooth out the hair, but it creates this lovely glossy piecey looking curl that is really long lasting. So there's our lovely kind of beachy wave with all these lovely little individual, and each curl is shiny and glossy. She's got a little piecey work at the top here, and it's all been created. You could use your tongs or a wand, but the key is the curl cream. So I hope you've enjoyed this little hair prep tutorial, and please try different curl creams, try and create some different styles, because this would look lovely going into a little updo as well. Then you've got all this lovely piecey work here. So maybe try some different styles and send me some photos. You could share them with us on Instagram at Create Beautiful Hair. But I look forward to seeing you soon. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and stay safe. Thank you. Bye. And if I've missed any questions, I will get back to you, or just try and write them, send them to me again in the little comment box on YouTube. Thank you. Take care. Bye.